This week's Incredulous installment will feature commentary from comrades Scott, Joe, and myself. On the agenda, Cheeto indicted, Pete Buttigieg consults with tech pros in response to infrastructure crisis, Ukraine blows up its own dam to flush out the Russians, and America finally acknowledges involvement in the Nord Stream bombing. One Italian fascist dies and another one mourns. Pakistan pays for Russian oil with Chinese currency. 3M and DuPont finally being held accountable for knowingly and irreparably contaminating the planet. Cornel West announces his third-party presidential bid. Starbucks embraces monochromatic capitalism, and the Solidarity Fund organizers now in need of their own bail fund. Slams taste like kiwi this week.
Please do us a favor, share this guide. Do something, enjoy our Epoch.
In the application process of becoming a U.S. citizen, you'll be required to respond to nearly 100 yes or no questions. One of these questions is, have you ever been a member of or any way affiliated with the Communist Party or any other totalitarian party? And if you dare answer yes truthfully, I am or was a member, what happens then? Well, it legally makes you inadmissible. You are not allowed to enter the United States.
Okay, so for context, everyone, this morning on the Discord, I put in the news channel, or our show notes channel, I should say. Where is it exactly?
Quote, Trump went to court and his pants fell down in front of everybody and then his suitcase opened and jelly beans went everywhere.
I really only read the first sentence of that.
And then Joe's response was, wait, really? And I was just, oh my God. Which, like, here's the thing is, when I saw that, I started doing like the dumb giggle laugh that's like in your body thing. And I was just like going like, oh my God, oh my God. And people at work were like, you okay? And I'm just like, I am beyond okay right now. You have no idea. So yeah, that's a good lead off into our first story, at least. Trump's made history. He's been shut the fuck up. And I also spelled indicated in the goddamn Discord because I can't spell and words are hard. But yeah, he was indicted. He was indicated. They indicted him, brought him down to Florida. He was indicted over the weekend. And then he went to Florida today. And then he pled not guilty to all charges, which is hilarious. But at the same time, I was also thinking, like, what would have happened if he pled guilty? Because, like, would they have just been like, well, okay. What would they have done then, you know? So that's fun.
That is. I wish you had asked. I wish you had said, "Hey, we're going to do a hypothetical on the show today, and I want you to think of something funny to say in advance."
I'm sorry.
Because now I'm just flabbergasted.
I didn't actually no. It was a passing thought that I had that I didn't really think I was just gonna.
Well,
I'm sorry. God damn it. Either way. So what's gonna happen? I don't know. But if you've seen the pictures of Trump's bathroom full of boxes of files, like, it's pretty funny.
I heard that Kevin McCarthy tried to make some kind of argument that storing everything in your bathroom is actually better than putting it in a safe for some reason.
I mean,
it sounds like some.
Yeah.
I thought Jesse was going to say something.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought so too.
Oh man,
my brain just left.
It just walked out.
Yeah, he was like,
"Fuck this sentence."
It's like that SpongeBob meme when he's like,
"All right, I'm gonna head out."
Yeah. So whatever happens to Trump, so like originally I thought I had the interpretation that like the incorrect take that the Republicans would actually, this would be the thing that would turn them against him because they're like, we wouldn't vote for a criminal. But then like, no, they've already done the polling as a result of today and nobody's positions have changed. So never mind, I'm wrong. Everything sucks. We're stuck in it. We're stuck in this shit forever.
I told you, most Republican voters view Trump as some kind of living god, so it doesn't really matter what he does.
I don't know if they
I feel like the idea of
living god, but okay,
adhering to established law, that's like a liberal fantasy, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of like I realized it's a lapse in my understanding of like the reactionary mindset to actually think that they would give a shit. And I actually don't think most of them view Trump as a god, because I don't think most of them have the capability of viewing anyone that way. But I do think they view him as.
You get what I mean, though.
No, please explain.
Is that like nothing is really gonna change how they view him? Like they view him as like awesome, and so like everything.
That's also not my point, though. My point is that I think most of them view him as an easy, as a vector of getting things done, i.e., like with the Supreme Court. That was what I was going to say. You know, I don't think they respect him that much, but
For once, I think. Well, that was a bad way to start that sentence. When I used to watch the Majority Report, Sam Cedar said something that I think is an accurate representation of the voting base to Trump, and that is that they're basically in on a joke together.
yeah, that's really good, actually. See, Sam sometimes is good. But anyways,
He's a phenomenal, like, debate bro. I'll give him that. Because there are dudes that I really respect that I don't think would be able to own the shit out of a libertarian the way that Sam can. But he doesn't get any free promotion on this fucking show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sam who? What?
Sam what?
Anyways, it's going to be 80 degrees tomorrow. And that's hot. You know what else is hot? A flaming truck that
That was
caused
a really good
I-95 to fucking collapse. Someone else talk about this, because I understand how this is devastating, but...
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
points
horrible.
for trains. Because now people are
Well,
going to have to
trains
use
are
trains
also
more.
derailing and blowing up all... Like, our highways and our trains are falling apart right now. We're double fucked.
So thanks to Mayor Pete, he has
You're getting
managed
double
to fuck up
penetrated.
Jesus
the
Christ.
boats, the planes, the roads, and the trains. What is there left for him to fuck up?
Yeah. Zeppelin travel, submarine travel. Eventually, well, you know, when we... gondolas.
Yes.
Buttigieg says that for now, he is trying to talk with people at Google and Waze to help people find alternate routes around I-95, and that is so far the extent to which he can figure out a solution to this problem.
Can we just acknowledge here that Pete Buttigieg is the most useless transportation secretary that has ever held office?
Yes.
Your response is to go to the tech bros and not, like, to Philadelphia and, like, try to figure out what the fuck? I don't know, man. Here's the thing you do is you allocate as much money and resources that are needed to rebuild that section of the highway as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Kind of like how,
But
like,
he's a McKinsey bro, and that would be profitable to spend money on making investments in our infrastructure.
yeah, but
Drop a contract with the public sector in the
Actually
state
would
of
be.
Pennsylvania, guarantee living wages, and you set a deadline. That's what you fucking do.
yeah, that's what, like, a normal social state would do. Like, so, like, what the fuck? Like, we figured that out. And, like, I'm not saying I'm a smart person. So, like, what the fuck? And I get it. Yeah, it's not a part of... It's, the you know, the McKinsey fucking outlook and shit. But it's like, can we impeach, like, a transportation secretary? Like, it's ridiculous.
I
Like,
mean,
this is fucking
possible,
insane.
But you would need 2/3 of Congress to do that, and there are too many shitlibs who would be like, but, like, we like Pete.
Do you think 2/3 of Congress likes Pete, though? Really?
That's the thing, though. It takes 2/3, but, like, you can get to 60%. I'm not sure you can get the last 7%.
Oh, boy, there it is. Okay. No, now, yeah.
I mean, the GOP apparently is going to
GOP.
try to impeach Pete Buttigieg in February, so maybe they'll do it for us.
Wait, in February?
Awesome.
Yeah.
In February
Mm-hmm.
of 24? Of 2024?
No, of 2023. This year.
February?
Yeah.
They tried?
Hey, give it another try.
They signaled, which is more than we can say for the trains, but they signaled they were going to.
That's
But
good.
All right.
That actually wasn't good.
Fuck, where is it? Oh, here.
Oh, God.
It's in a different window.
Please clap.
Okay. No,
Please
but
clap.
No, but here, yeah. Hey, Republicans, try it again then. Because, like, what the fuck? It's bullshit.
Try again.
Yes.
It's bullshit, you know? It is bullshit. What happened to the truck, actually? Like, it like, caught on fire because it was, like, too hot or whatever? And it was like carrying gasoline, and then it like blew up.
The truck driver died, which is unfortunate.
That, yeah, I don't know, man. But if this happened in like China, this would like have been rebuilt in like, I don't know, like 72 hours. So,
Yeah.
for context, folks,
I said the same exact thing to my grandpa, and he gave me some kind of spiel about how they're dictators and that's somehow bad.
They wouldn't even have to rebuild it. They would have like an extra chunk off-site that they could just replace it with.
Yeah.
yeah,
That was a joke. I don't actually think that.
they'd certainly have some solution.
Meanwhile, we're like talking to the tech bros about like alternate routes.
Which, like, that is important, but if that's the main priority, like, that's like, what the fuck, dude? Your main priority should be rebuilding the highway. Like, that's so weird.
Kind of a analog to that. I was looking at the MBTA's plan for like when there's a detour around
Because
government
isn't like
center.
the summer tunnel closed for like the summer?
It
When
says
there's a detour, all hell's gonna break loose. Okay, sorry.
it said an accessible, like disability accessible, an accessible shuttle bus will be available upon request, which means like they don't have them. They don't have them ready.
Yeah.
So apparently if you're disabled and you need to get to the next train station, you have to call the MBTA and request a shuttle for yourself.
Now,
And that's going to happen quickly.
That's not gonna end well.
yeah.
Yeah, not sure.
Wait, are they're closing government? What is the detour? Or is this just like a
I
general
think one of the weekends is already done, but they've been periodically. Basically, the Green Line stops at Government Center, so there's just a gap in the continuity of the Green Line between Government Center and North Station. Sometimes they have shuttles.
That's a terrible place to have a gap.
Sometimes it literally just says walk. This was real, though. This wasn't a joke. I'm just going to read the service alert verbatim. Suspension. Green Line service will be suspended between North Station and Government Center from June 12 through 25 for work on the Government Center garage demolition. An accessible shuttle will be available upon demand. Riders are asked to walk above ground between these stations. It's like, that's not commuting. That's walking. That's
Yeah.
You can't just say that.
But that's not commuting. That's walking. Oh, no. Oh, no. Because you know what else broke?
Who done did it?
Who do you think did it? Who did the dam?
I can tell you for a fact you did it, actually.
He can tell me for a fact. Stop being so fucking cocky. Who do you think did it?
Ukraine did. They literally
Why
tried to last July. And this was reported by the Washington Post in an article published on December 29th, 2022.
What is their reasoning?
They're trying to cut off the water supply to Crimea to try to force them to, like, leave. They can't push through the Russian defenses because Russia is heavily fortified and entrenched there to defend Crimea. And so,
That's
initially,
insane.
this is to quote a Washington Post article from December 29th of last year titled, "Inside the Ukrainian Counteroffensive That Shocked Putin and Reshaped the World."
What a fucking clickbait headline.
Yeah, I know.
It's war, baby.
So, the commander of the Kherson offensive at the time, by the name of Andriy Kovalchuk, his goal was to, like, bisect Russian forces in Crimea, basically try to cut them off. But that didn't really work because the Russians put in a lot of time and effort, like, fortifying and heavily defending the area. So, like, they couldn't actually take it. And so the plan B, as Kovalchuk initially had a backup plan, which he considered an option of last resort, was, quote, Kovalchuk considered flooding the river. The Ukrainians, he said, even conducted a test strike with a HIMARS launcher, which is basically, it is think of like the Katyusha rocket launcher from World War II, but much bigger and supplied by the United States. And that's what a HIMARS is. Basically a truck which has a bunch of rockets in the area where a flatbed would be, and you fire it at up to ranges of 50 miles.
Yeah.
And so, July 24th, 2022,
Oh my god.
the Ukrainians fired 3 rockets at the dam. They launched a test strike on one of the floodgates of this dam, making 3 holes in the metal to see if the Dnieper River could be raised enough to, quote, stymie Russian crossings, but not to flood nearby areas. The test was a success, Kovalchuk said, but the step remained a last resort. However, Kovalchuk was fired in December because the Ukrainian government, they were irritated with the lack of progress. And he was replaced by a guy who in early January took a photo of him giving the thumbs up behind a photo of Stepan Bandera, which was posted by the Ukrainian parliament's Twitter account.
Is that some sort of a superhero? What was that?
Stepan Bandera, the head of he was the Nazi sympathizer in World War II, who organization oversaw a literal genocide in Poland.
Yes. I don't know all these. I don't know all these historical fascists. Sorry.
If you become a patron, you can listen to that Patreon exclusive episode 113 Part 2.
I also discovered in the course of my research that apparently the current deputy foreign minister of Ukraine is an out-and-out Holocaust denier who got fired from his job as ambassador to Germany when he basically did explicit Holocaust denial and said that Stepan Bandera did nothing wrong, basically, to a German journalist. And that pissed off the Polish, the Germans, and the Israelis. And so he got fired like 3 weeks later, but then was promoted to the position of deputy foreign minister last November.
That's pretty hard to offend that many people with the same revisionism. That's wow.
Yeah, I know. But now he's upset now that the Germans, who, he was their ambassador there and he got fired. Even though he also said something about how the German chancellor was, quote, a offended liverwurst at one point for refusing to visit Ukraine. He was angry that the Germans aren't giving them more tanks because one theory is for why they destroyed the dam is that it was to distract attention from the fact that the much hyped up Ukrainian counteroffensive is really going badly, to put things generously. Ukrainians have already lost 15 tanks that the U.S. has given them, and 40% of the tanks Germany has given them. So they blew up the dam, and the destruction of the dam is going to result in the draining of a vital reservoir that supplies fresh water to the millions of civilians in Crimea. So the civilian population in Crimea is at high risk of losing their ability to access clean drinking water now that the dam is gone.
Oh. This wasn't in the rotator, what the fuck, what do I call it?
Rotator cuff? Okay.
Yes. This wasn't in the shoulder, gentlemen, but Reuters put out an article a week ago entitled, U.S. had intelligence of Ukrainian plan to attack Nord Stream project.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
They knew that it was going to happen 3 months before it actually happened and allegedly said,
oh, wait, guys, don't do that.
Yeah, so big surprise, it wasn't Russia that blew up their own fucking pipeline.
Interesting how that works.
Interesting how the West tried to pin it on them anyways.
At the time, I said it'll be about 3 months before the U.S. acknowledges its role. And I don't remember exactly when the first... Let me look it up, because I really want to bask in this for a minute, if I'm correct about
Was
this.
it around the time Seymour Hersh did his reporting on it?
Yes.
Because it really does kind of defy, all rational thought.
Yep, 3 months.
It's all
Hey, good call.
There you have it, folks. That's how long it takes the United States to acknowledge and then whitewash its own absolutely egregious international affairs. 3 months.
So by this logic, it will be about September 13th before the U.S. acknowledges that, wait a minute. We were kind of behind this whole damn thing.
I'm sorry. It was 4 months. I did my math wrong. It was 4 months. So a little bit later than I expected, but nonetheless.
Can't trust you now.
Can't do it.
Can't trust you now. Dude, you got one thing minor, slightly wrong.
You had one job to do.
Enough of this Ukraine bullshit. I will say, there are reports that Ukraine's not doing it. It is kind of crazy that they're trying that whole plan. But, there are, actual reports that things aren't going well. It's, I don't know. But there's so many counter-narratives that it's, frankly, just very tired of it.
It's kind of wild how quickly the liberals in the West have gone from, there are no Nazis, to, the Nazis weren't really that bad. They weren't as bad as the Soviets.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing that I didn't bring up because...
Where is that happening?
Everywhere. Like, my grandpa literally
Where's
last
everywhere, motherfucker?
week, in the West.
Holy shit, dude. That's you're being as general as possible.
There was literally an op-ed in The Guardian this week
Thank you.
being like, oh, like, the Nazis aren't really that bad. The Soviets were worse.
I've really been withholding judgment on the degree to which white nationalism has penetrated the Ukrainian army, because I really, really wanted to believe people that said it was being overblown. But, like, I cannot find a picture of a Ukrainian soldier where they don't have some kind of emblem.
Literally wearing, like, the SS logo.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I saw, and I, like, tried DMing people as, like, a control group and being like, what does this look like to you?
Spent like 2 hours looking for the thing.
I thought I
and then
was
you
going
responded to me,
insane.
oh no, that's definitely a Klansman.
Yes. I couldn't find anything that looked similar. Like, I tried. I really tried. But no, this guy has a legit fucking grand wizard with a rifle on his vest.
And Zelensky's bodyguards literally have, like, the skull and bones thing on their vests.
It's hard for me to be surprised by, like, the flamboyant, like, the ostentatious white nationalism of soldiers. But this is bad, dude.
I really do wish I was wrong about this, but I also haven't really found any evidence to the contrary.
Anyways, can we move on?
Yeah,
From
sorry.
the
I didn't mean to get us sidetracked. I just
That's fine.
But hey, Berlusconi is dead, so that's a positive thing.
hey,
It's just about to say that.
Berlusconi's walking here.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about him.
He's a piece of shit.
Okay. Go on.
He basically gave birth to the resurgence of the Italian right in the early 90s. He was basically our version of Trump, but earlier and smarter, because he was very, very corrupt. He's like a combination of, like, Jeff Bezos and Donald Trump, but Italian. Because he just, like, bought up a bunch of stuff in, like, all different industries, and then used that capital to influence policy, and then eventually just decided to go into politics to just do it directly. And he's finally dead at the age of 86. You know, we're getting closer to Kissinger. You know,
Oh my God, shut up.
Pat Robertson died last
Nope.
week. This week it's Berlusconi.
No
We're
more
getting
Kissinger
there.
Jokes. No more Kissinger jokes, dude.
Scott's really, like, he's gonna kill himself.
I am. I'm gonna hang myself before Henry Kissinger does. I'm gonna die before
This is my
Kissinger. Like, that's how fucking annoyed I am at this shit. Can I? No, seriously. I get it. He's, like, honestly, like, huge piece of shit. Huge piece of shit. Like, I get it. I've listened to the Behind the Bastards. Like, I get it. Like, he was doing shit, like, that was totally unnecessary. Somehow got his hands into everything. What is it personally to you, Joe? That's all I wonder.
Because he has the blood of millions on his hands.
Fine.
It's a very Catholic thing in me that, like, you must atone for your sins in some way. Be it by, you know, finally dying so the world can be a slightly better place, or, like, some other way. Be nice if you would just stop existing. You already won by killing millions and millions of people.
Alright, okay. You put it in a way I can more, I'm not so frustrated by. Okay. I'll put it that way.
But Berlusconi died. That's cool. Everybody's happy about it. We're happy about it. Woo.
More dead
Actually, being in
fascists.
Italy-
Not everybody is happy about it.
I don't give a fuck about the people who aren't happy about it, though. Who's not happy about it?
Well, it is concerning that the new Italian prime minister.
Is basically girl boss Mussolini.
Yeah.
Oh, they're worse?
I mean, she is a neo-fascist.
Whomst?
What's her name?
Yeah, what's her name?
I can't remember her Gina Maloney.
Gina Maloney.
What? You gotta be kidding, dude. Come on.
Gina Maloney is an American actress known
Yeah.
for her roles in both independent films
No,
and
Jennifer
mainstream
Gina
Maloney.
films.
Maloney.
Oh, God.
I was close enough.
Were you?
All right.
Okay, there she is.
All I'm getting are fucking xvideos.com results, Joe. You're gonna have to give me a middle name or something here.
What did you misspell? How did you do that? Come on, man.
Oh, gee.
How did you stumble upon that?
Because it's Jesse.
Wait a
We'll always
second.
find a way.
She's like kind of like she's not bad.
Oh, okay.
He's
I
not
had the wrong
46, you know? She's not that much older than me.
No,
Hey,
dude,
what's
she's
up?
fucking. I feel like she won just
What's up,
because
girl?
she's hot.
Oh, look at this picture from 2008,
honest.
though. Look at the picture from 2008, though. Oh, man. She has, like, the perfect, like, tired look on her. Oh, I'm sorry.
She does, actually.
She's like
Look at that.
full on fucking attractive.
Look at this. Yes, I know. It's fucking with me. I want it, like, has a long history of far-right politics. I want a sentence where she's just like,
We must kill them all.
and then I'm just like, oh, God. Punch myself while I'm jerking off to. What?
I'm like, never mind. I don't have enough free time, but if I had more free time, I would definitely make a song, and that would be the hook.
She sees feminism as an ideological tool against right-wing politics, rather than in pro-women's terms, and has described herself as a person for women. All right.
A person for women.
Criticized Italy's approach towards illegal immigration, calling for a zero-tolerance policy, of course. Wants to blockade Italian ports, Jesus Christ. Boost the birth rates of Italian nationals, so of course. Yeah, okay, yeah. Real fucking problem.
To give you an idea how much of a she is,
Oh, that's an extreme word.
she's a fascist, bro. She
I
can
mean, no,
handle
but it's
it.
fine, it's fine. I'm just saying.
Quote,
Silvio Berlusconi was above all a fighter.
Oh, boy. Well, rest in piss,
You piece of shit.
and soon, hopefully, this fucking
Yeah,
sexy
fuck you.
fascist lady boss can join you. Sexist fascist lady
May our
boss.
corpse get devoured by fucking worms.
Yeah, man. And may those worms, I don't know, do better.
Yeah, may those worms just do fine
Yeah.
after that.
They educate their kids against far-right politics. I don't know why worms would have to worry about it, but, you know, they do. Either way. Whatever.
Revolutionaries of all species, I support it. Radicalize the worms.
The worms are our comrades.
They are, bro. They compost.
The comrades like
They
the
eat
compost.
detritus and shit. They're doing good things for the environment, doing good things for you and I. Sometimes they comically wiggle their way into an apple,
Sometimes it is.
but most times they're just vibing.
Look at this woman. Look at this fucking woman. I am.
Stop looking at her,
No,
bro.
I'm never gonna stop. No.
Stop it.
All right. I'm closing it all. Okay. All right. What happened?
Moving to the next tab.
It's all closed. It's all done.
I do have
What?
one question though. Did she dye her hair blonde?
It looks like it. Yes, it looks very platinum
Okay.
dyed.
Because
It
that's
does
like
not
weird. If you're Italian,
Actually, yes, you're right.
I don't know many blonde Italians.
I feel like I feel like it's.
I mean, like the old school Italians were, because if you've seen True Romance, the whole
Oh,
speech,
if I've seen True
the
Romance,
if the old school Italians,
something that I would
wanna
definitely watch.
Fuck you! I don't want to get into the speech about like the history of the Moors invading Italy and changing like the look of Italians. I don't want to because the whole thing is rather racist, so I don't want to get into that. But like old school Italians wear like blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
Color me shocked, bro.
Anyways,
It's from a fucking movie. Moving on. What happened in Pakistan was... Well, no, I'm just going to shut up. Speaking of a movie, Rocky 3, but that happened in Afghanistan, so fuck me. What happened?
So,
It's all the same.
No, it's not.
Pakistan paid for its first government import of discounted Russian crude oil in Chinese yuan instead of US dollars.
Is that the whole
Is that it? What does that mean? Should we care? Is that good?
Yes.
Is it good? Okay. Why?
It means this was like a move
Sorry.
furthering like de-dollarization, reduced reliance on the U.S. dollar for
Hey, this motherfucker
trade.
saying things like de-dollarization. Come on, man.
Do you still not know what that means? I feel like
I just think it's a funny word. De-dollarization. Oh, anyways.
Well, it's the flip side to dollarization, which like is kind of a trend among right-wing governments in like Latin America. I mean, there are still neoliberal, neo-fascists trying to keep their own nations under the boot of American capitalists. So I think it's good when the opposite of that happens. What about you, Joe? What do you think about that?
I concur with Jesse's analysis. It's a good
Scott,
thing.
I didn't ask you, actually.
Well, I'm just saying. God damn it.
I concur. It's a good thing.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. All right, fine.
No, but for real, this is always like interesting to me because there's not really an immediate tangible effect on our society. Like the only thing that the American press can do about it is saber rattle. And there's something like funny about the kind of impotence of that to me because it's like China's economy is exploding.
Mm.
China's becoming the new global financial superpower. And anybody that
if they aren't already.
Yeah, I mean the Chinese economy has already surpassed the American economy, like in its pure what's the phrase?
A GDP?
No.
What are you talking like in terms of like pure economic capacity?
Yeah, like because like the American economy gets its power from the leverage that the US dollar has as like a reserve currency.
Yeah, through like trade and also our control of like the major finance institutions. But that's really basically it.
Right. The United States is not as productive as China, but the US dollar itself,
I believe it, yeah,
holds much more power. But that's like quickly shifting, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Shit's like countries like Pakistan's doing their trade in a different currency other than the dollar actively like diminishes what hegemony we have.
Yeah, and it also, I mean, it allows nations that have prior to, or hitherto, been
unknown. Sorry.
been at the mercy of like market fluctuations that emanate from the United States and, you know, to a lesser degree, Europe. Now their economies are only hindered by like their own productive capacity or lack thereof.
Another reason why this is a big deal with Pakistan is that Russia is selling it to them at a discount because Pakistan has been undergoing an economic recession of sorts, and they've been trying to get a refinance bailout package from the IMF for the past 6 months, but the IMF has been refusing to give them the money because Pakistan wants to increase fuel prices on the rich so as to provide like subsidies for poorer people in Pakistan. And so buying discounted oil from the Russians using Chinese currency would allow them to do that without having to like subject themselves to further austerity from the IMF.
China goes about the whole like diplomacy and foreign aid thing in like a genuine way.
Yeah, it's not a means
whereas
of further
America
control.
doesn't. Yeah, it's interesting just to contrast. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I had a thought there, but it kind of just flew away. It glittered in the darkness.
Hey,
and flew
man, that
away.
happened to me earlier. So
Yeah, you know, it might come back, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
If you love it, set it free, my friend.
Sure. No, but actually, no. They came back. No, the thing is, like, cultures need politics to protect them and capital to thrive, because all things need capital to thrive under the structure that we live under, capitalism. And if you starve those places of capital, it's a way of basically decimating a culture. So that's what the IMF is basically doing. So there you go. That's elite capture in a very
Blunt
summary. So there you go.
it's true. There's a huge feedback loop between like a nation can't really develop its own cultural independence if it doesn't have economic independence.
Correct. Yes. Yes, and I think that's a very important point to always mention when we talk about the activities of the IMF, because they fuck around. So.
Oh, yeah. They just want a return on investment. That's all they're ever looking for, really.
Mm-hmm.
They pretend to care how that happens, but like
No,
they don't.
they just want. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if your country like ends up destitute. It doesn't matter. Anyways, talk about the chemicals.
So, surprise, surprise, DuPont or 3M scientists discovered PFOS toxicity in like 1953, but decided to keep that information to themselves to make profit. Just another example of why we need to nationalize industries that are not primarily motivated by the profit motive as exists under capitalism. But on the bright side, 3M is finally about to, they have been fucking around for decades, and they are finally about to find out because 3M is about to begin trial on the first of over 4,000 lawsuits related to cancer-linked forever chemicals that are about to begin moving through the court system. The state of Maine recently joined in. They recently sued 3M as well. So 3M is now facing over 4,000 different lawsuits, largely from like state and local governments. The first of these lawsuits is going forward on behalf of the city of Stuart, Florida, over PFAS contaminating foam used by firefighters to suppress fires. Stuart, Florida is seeking over $105 million to cover the cost of damage of PFAS removal and up to $500 billion in punitive damages.
$500 billion, jeez.
Credit sites estimate
Go get 'em.
3M could be held
Seriously.
responsible for over $143.7 billion in cleanup costs alone.
Damn, they deserve it.
Oh yeah.
And
They do. I mean, like, what the fuck?
they do. What are health risks associated with PFAS chemicals? PFAS and forever chemicals have been linked to serious side effects and illnesses. These include pancreatic cancer, kidney cancer, testicular cancer, liver cancer, reproductive problems, endocrine disruption, low birth weight, weakened childhood immunity, increased cholesterol levels, high blood pressure and preeclampsia in pregnant women, among many other symptoms.
Yeah. I was trying to find the episode that I did, the deep dive on PFOS, PFOS, PFAS, PFAS,
PFAS.
whatever, the forever chemicals, and I don't know what we called it, so. But we did talk about this in another episode, so
I want to taste the piss.
in post, I will put in whatever episode that was and maybe link it in the description if I'm not too lazy. Episode 107, Neo-psychedelic Postmodern X-Files episode Universe.
This is why I keep hammering on this topic, is because it is literally just poisoned the entire planet. It's in everybody's bloodstream, and yet they have yet to be held accountable up until now.
What do you mean you keep
Like,
Never
Scott
mind.
complains that, like, oh, like, I keep coming back to this theme.
Scott,
What?
don't you dare shame Joe for coming back to this theme.
I think it's fine.
This is
What
a
do you-
theme
stop
near and
getting
dear
mad
to
at
me.
Like, I think it's okay. Like, I literally had, like, I fucking realized I was wrong in the fucking Discord, and I
I did not
Thank
see
you.
that.
said that.
Thank you.
I literally said, like, oh, actually, like, you're kind of, I'm incorrect, because, like, we need to have things that we return to, because these are things that are going to return to us, whether we like it or not. This is the ongoing reality of life. And, like, it's better that we have a perspective and themes, and instead of being, like, fucking, like having no, like, none of that. Like, Philip
Who was
DeFranco.
it? Phil the who that you said?
Philip DeFranco.
I have
Good
no
God,
idea
he's like
who
a
that
world
is.
famous YouTuber. He's a famous news related YouTuber. He used to have.
Oh, is that? Oh, I think I know who you're talking about now.
Oh my God! Like, give me one moment. This is his
Sup, you beautiful bastards.
That's his intro.
I've never
Yeah,
actually
I have a
watched.
sound drop of Philip DeFranco saying "Sup, you beautiful bastards." He's just like, the problem with him is that, like, he is kind of like, he is like socially very left, but at the same time he's like at the heart like kind of just like a libertarian shithead. And like, he is like what I would consider to be like a Western chauvinist if you remove the connotations of like the alt-right and the Proud Boys and you just look at the words for what they are. He would be what I would describe as that, because I watch all this shit on my stream. Like, I'll watch First Thought and they'll have this like very nuanced take. Who are the guys from the Deprogram
The
podcast who
deprogram,
like, yeah, their show is like very nuanced on all of the news stories and stuff. And like, even from like their story, like their coverage of Ukraine, like it's still very like, it's very nuanced, and it's not too like Western in its perspective, and they don't like grab onto any one narrative. And then like you go over to like a video from Phil, and Phil's just like, oh, we gotta stop Russia. We gotta like send all the money and all the tanks to Ukraine. And I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's like
Okay.
and like it's
I don't know.
I don't really have that many criticisms of like Philly that much. He's just kind of boring. Whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
He's like an algorithm guy.
he's an aggregator of news stories, but as a person. And like it's weird because like the thing I don't get is that like I don't get why he's into like the news. It's so strange. It's like I don't know why the news is his thing. And I get that like his channel started as like a YouTube like gossip channel, but like how it's morphed into this like legitimate news entity, I'm just like, how did that happen? And why did that happen? And I get it. It's like it's capitalism, and he found a market to like corner. I get it, but it's like I don't see it in him, and that's what's weird about it. Is there's always a disconnect when I'm watching his videos because it's like I don't see the passion in him personally. So, but anyway, sorry.
Well, when I say he's an algorithm guy, I'm not just saying like he's the personification of an algorithm. I'm saying like,
He gets picked up by the algorithm.
well, yes, but he would be a nobody if not for the fact that his trajectory is always the most popular thing. So by definition, every time he takes up a new, quote, news story, all he's doing is riding the coattails of whatever else is already big news, you know?
Yeah. And that's why I don't describe him as a journalist. I say he's a reporter because that's all he does.
I mean, he's just forwarding information. He's like
Which is what a reporter does.
he's... Okay. I don't have any response to that.
There is a difference between a reporter and a journalist. A reporter is just like the person who reads the news. A journalist is a person who goes out and like finds something and makes news, you know?
Right.
So, and like Phil's not doing that. Like, I guess he had an interview with Fauci, but like Fauci just said shit he was already saying. So it's like, whatever.
It is weird
Anyways.
though. You're right. Like he's an empty container of a human being versus like Sam Sachs is a reporter, but he's also like his personality shines through.
And like
time.
Cody Johnson and shit. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, I get it when I watch people like that. It's like, okay, I get why you're into this. Whereas with Phil, it's like, I get that you have children and you need to, like, raise them and give them a good life. So I get the financial reasons. But anyways.
But, like, he feels like he's going through the motions.
Yeah, but no, he's incredibly convincing. Anyways.
No, don't.
What?
You're like the only one that can have an eloquent analysis of these cultural things because I am a cultural...
Well, I want to talk about
dunce.
I want to move on and talk about Cornel West, and I wasn't sure if I interrupted the story that you guys were talking about.
Cut it out.
No, you don't have
cut
to.
it out like a fucking old.
I appreciate the kind words. Thanks, but like I was making the decision to move on because it wasn't. Anyways, sorry. Anyways, were we done with DuPont and 3M? What is the 3Ms? Who are the 3Ms? What does the name stand for?
I can't remember what 3M stands for, but like they make like Scotch tape and shit.
Minnesota. What? Oh, sorry.
No, that's.
Wait, no, shut up. He just said, I don't know what it stands for, but they make like Scotch tape and then tape it off there. What the fuck type of answer is that? That's amazing.
That's actually a pretty good summation of 3M. Like they're famous for products like the Post-it, which is because of the adhesive. Like that's
Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing Company. That's what it means.
They make like synthetic chemicals that are useful in everyday applications. I am not a 3M spokesman. I don't know why I said it like that, but it's true, okay? There's inherent use in like
we're losing it. There is. I love it. Oh my god.
Other major forever chemical companies that are being sued include DuPont, ChemGuard, Corteva Cheemers, which we've already talked about in the past, which was created specifically for the purpose of offloading.
Wait, Cheemers. Wait. The company called ChemGuard is the ones who spilt the chemicals?
The National Foam Incorporated, Dynax Corporation, and
okay, fine,
Kibble
don't respond.
Fenwell. But yes, that is hilarious. So it's called ChemGuard.
Yes, yeah. They didn't really guard the public from them chemicals. They failed. They legally have to change their name.
They guarded shareholder profits, which is their real
They have to change their name to Chem Spill.
That is true. They do legally have to do that.
We have a fiduciary obligation.
Yes. And if there's anything they get out of the trial, that's the bare minimum that I ask for. Anyways, yeah, fuck these. Oh my god.
Okay, now we can move on.
Cornel West is gonna run for president. Whatever.
Cornel West.
I mean, he's cool, but like, whatever.
Cornel West has really good vibes, and seeing as how politics is all vibes,
I mean,
I think he
does
fits
have
the
a
bill.
point. Politics these days is a very high percentage vibes.
If you could pick a vibe that like America is thirsting for, like he has swag, he's smart, sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He is performatively radical.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
And
He's like good at both sidesing issues that don't necessarily need to be both sides.
and
He is the closest candidate to any kind of a left wing or socialist that we could hope for in a major party, which happens to be the People's Party, which happens to be kind of a shitty party.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we deserve as Americans, though.
Right after we recorded this episode, Cornel West announced that he was seeking the Green Party nomination, and then the People's Party put out a weird statement to express their disappointment, though they appear to still be promoting Cornel West on all of their social media. The People's Party platform is pretty good on the surface, but underneath the vaguely working class veneer is a Larouchian chauvinistic grift. I think West was smart to use it as a vessel to promote his candidacy and then look elsewhere for ballot access, and I think he's smart to play it safe by calling for a united front without wading into the bullshit that's been stirred up by misconduct from individuals within the parties. Special fuck you to Caleb Maupin. Anyways, Scott, Joe, Jesse from the future, I presume we all agree on this to the extent that we even care about it. I'm pretty sure Joe doesn't even listen to the show once it's been released, but if I am wrong, we can tear each other limb from limb in the next episode. Stay tuned. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere, but fucking if somebody has to, you know.
He's gonna fill the Bernie void for this cycle, basically.
Yeah, I think Bernie needs a break. He's old, he's fucking white, he had a heart attack, whatever. Man. He flushes easily these days. He
flushes easily?
Loses his voice after about 2 speeches on the campaign trail.
He doesn't trip and fall, or just fall like Biden did. You saw that.
Yeah, I did.
You saw that, Joe. Yeah. Joe knew exactly that I was talking to him. Joe knew that I was exactly talking to him. It was hilarious. Talk Biden fell.
Old man motherfucker.
It is also funny this past week watching like these like state guards and like European countries like doing like the parades or whatever, and like they're passing out in like 85-degree heat. Like in France, Macron stopped to do like a photo op with like this guy, and meanwhile like off to the side you could see that one of the guards is like literally like collapsing. The guy's like trying to hold him upright while they're taking the photo.
Dude, that's not an outfit I would like to be wearing in 85-degree weather.
I was in a marching band for 4 years and had to deal with worse weather than this.
You were in a marching band?
Yeah, 4 years. All 4 years of high school.
What did you play?
the triangle.
Okay. All right. The trumpet seems like a very you instrument. Okay.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It just seems like a very you instrument. Okay.
Can you still play, do you think? If somebody gave you a trumpet and said, can you play this without practicing first?
Probably not as well.
But you'd be able to, like, play a tune.
Probably.
Little tune.
Play a little tune for me.
This sounds very gay.
Anyways.
Big gay ice cream is the best.
Oh, I'm next? Well, the thing I wanted to say about Cornel West is, like, you said the thing in the Discord about how, like, well, he's the first candidate to talk about class warfare. What do you mean by that? Is that what did he explain? Because I didn't watch his...
That's not even true. Bernie has explicitly said the same thing.
Yeah, but Joe, what do you mean by that? Because, like, I did watch his announcement, but, like, on mute and not really paying attention because I was like, okay, cool.
Whatever.
So what do you mean he mentioned class warfare?
He was talking about, like, you know, the rich are getting richer, we're getting poorer, and we need to, like, basically do, like, the class war shit of, like, getting better working conditions and wages and shit and better health care.
Okay.
Bernie Sanders, for the record, tweeted,
Barbara Sanders,
quote, if there is going to be a class warfare in this country,
well win.
It's about time the working class won that war.
Oh, that's like a soy face. Damn, that's a soy
But
face.
tonight I say we must move forward, not backward, upward, not forward, and always whirling.
Fucking math energy.
Whirling towards freedom.
Yeah. I think I was pretty good on that one. Thank you. Fucking.
That's a soy face one.
But yeah, okay. So, but like, no. My point is that like, I think all of the candidates talk about class warfare, but like, all in the favor of the capitalist class. You know, like we'll get more jobs, we'll blah blah blah, raise wages and like lower taxes. It's like that is all just fucking for the capitalist class. That's all that is.
We've talked about middle class before on the show, I think. The empty signifier that is middle class, that anybody can lump themselves in with it.
Yeah. That's who all that is for. That's not for the working class.
You could be like homeless and consider yourself middle class in this country. It's unbelievable the things that people will do to convince themselves that they aren't poor. Because we have made poverty a slur.
Crime.
Yeah, literally, yes, actually.
You're just a temporarily embarrassed member of the petite bourgeoisie.
Yes. I truly feel like that's the audience that the Democratic Party has been going after forever. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Exactly. You guys get it. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is why I love them.
Because, I mean, people don't really vote in this country unless it's like way easier to vote than to not vote. And since we don't have a voting holiday, like that hasn't been the case for the last many decades.
Never.
Maybe it was a little bit easier under COVID, but most states aren't just going to continue to send everybody ballots. And Democrats don't have to capture a majority of the country. They just have to convince a minority of the country that wants to feel.
They want to feel good inside about themselves. They don't care about, like, the bombing brown people abroad.
Yeah, if you want to, like, I think the goal is to convince someone that's doing okay that they're actually, they deserve it. Like, that's it.
They don't want to feel embarrassed to be Americans.
Right.
I do.
If you have to subjugate somebody, well, it's a dog-eat-dog world. You deserve it.
Dog.
We hear you.
Some dog.
We know that you wear the rainbow pin at work or whatever. Like, hop on board.
It's a dog-eat-dog world. If you want to make that profit, you gotta eat some dogs. You know? Why is that not a saying? Why is that not a saying, you capitalist shits?
Like Lockheed Martin participating in a pride parade in Washington, D.C. It's like, yeah, we're on board with the whole pride thing. Can we go back to, like, incinerating, like, children in Yemen now?
Yeah. Can I use that as a segue to what I was going to talk about?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Speaking of pride, and corporations not
giving a fuck,
Starbucks has started aggressively banning. Basically Starbucks has internally banned any like pride decorum in stores, and we have stopped playing the pride playlist at our stores. I don't know why this is very sudden. I have theories, like obviously because I don't have any concrete things, but I can speculate. One is obviously like retaliation against unionization efforts to like spank the partners and be like,
no, fuck you. You're not getting this like little thing for yourself.
You ain't getting this bussy.
You ain't getting this little treat. You ain't getting, we are
bussy. How do you say it?
Yeah, no, Bussy was right.
Okay.
Basically we're the cat and we're not getting a little treat this time, is what Starbucks is telling us, because of our efforts to unionize. But also, sorry, I guess
It's all right.
I got a little loud there.
Hey, you don't have to raise your voice.
Anyways,
I think your mic handled it pretty good. You have like a compressor, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I have a pretty good mic.
Don't worry about it.
Anyways, my other theory is that internally, well, it actually is also tied to the first point. Unionization efforts, I don't want to say one precedes the other. I basically want to say that like there were internal shifts happening and there was like union efforts like bubbling before COVID, and then COVID was the thing that was the catalyst for both. And the internal stuff that's been bubbling is that Starbucks is slowly transitioning into a more conservative company. And the unionization efforts, because they are a capitalist company and their obligation is to fight unionization efforts, because like that's just how capitalism works. But in that in that way, naturally it sheds the veneer of being this progressive company. And so Starbucks has basically, they've decided to make this shift towards more conservative branding. And one of the big things is more drive-thrus throughout the country, because that's a big conservative. Like conservatives basically, there's cultural polling. I don't know how they get this data, but they've done polling and data that like conservatives use drive-thrus more often because of the nature of America being this wasteland of highways and no like logical sort of centralized transportation system that like is convenient for anyone. It's even in our construction of our highways, how we get around, it's rugged individualism, it's cutthroat, it's brutal.
I think Matt Walsh got angry about walkable cities.
Oh, fuck him.
He was like, first you can walk to the store. Next, your kids are gay.
Yeah, I mean, like, that is
that's
how it works.
And something
Fuck
else.
this guy.
Like, the thing is, like, that's what happens is you go outside and you're like, oh, it's like clean air. It's not too much, like, particulates in the air because there's not too many cars around. And then, like, also, we forgot to mention that Canada made New York turn into, like, a hellscape for a week. You know?
I know. I was having respiratory issues on Monday.
Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, like that's I've kind of noticed a little bit of, anyways, breathing, air stuff, been weird. Anyways, no, but like my other theory is that like this is kind of part of the internal push to brand the company more in a conservative manner. And so like get the pride stuff down. We put it up for 2 weeks, fuck you, it's over. And that's what I think is happening, along with like punishing the union and stuff. Because the union is, to be honest, it's a lot of the more radicalized folks, and if you've noticed, again, there's been studies and essays and things. More radicalized folks tend to be more intellectual, more neurodivergent, queer, people of color.
People who experience oppression in their own lives are generally more empathic towards other people and groups who also experience oppression.
Exactly. And so by banning Pride Decorum, not only is it punishing the LGBTQ plus partners that we have already, but it's also, by extension, kind of punishing people for broader unionization efforts. And it's super shitty.
Awesome.
Everything sucks today.
Do you think there's also like something to do with like the profit motive of Starbucks seeing what happened to like Budweiser when they partnered with like a trans influencer or whatever, and then they suffered like a 20% nosedive in sales?
Something I've been thinking about a lot. 2 is that bullshit. Yes. What was the fucking... Oh, God. Oh, man. Because I don't think about these people's, like, names, you know? Because I don't know who they are. Because I don't...
I'm going to find the actual now.
Dylan Mulvaney. Like, I don't know who Dylan Mulvaney even is. And the can that they made for Dylan Mulvaney was a single can that they made just for her. It wasn't meant to be a part of any sort of promotion. But then, like people actually freaked out, and it actually did hurt Bud Light's bottom line, which is, like, kind of terrifying, and I don't like that.
They suffered a 21% drop in sales over, like, a 3-month period.
And then Target had all this, like... Target just had, like, regular Pride stuff in, like, bathing suits meant for adults that have, like, tucking mechanisms in them. I don't know how that works, because I'm not... You know, but I support it. But... all of these fucking reactionaries went like, oh, they're trying to promote transgenderism to kids. And it's like, these bathing suits are for adults. They're in the adult section. What are you doing? Like, looking at bathing suits that aren't even intended for you to begin with? Like, what the fuck's your problem, bro? Why are you in the kids section looking at this fact that they do have Pride stuff in the kids section? Well, they do have Pride stuff in the kids section, but that's because, like, dude, kids are identifying at a young age. And it has to do with that, like, fucking, that fight that happened at that school, that the school was voting just if they should recognize June as Pride Month, and then that streamer streamed it, and then like he came out as like basically a transphobe idiot, and so everything is just like this. Everything is just maddening, and I can't.
This sounds very gay.
I just can't take it anymore. It's just craziness.
Now listen, you writer.
I gotta get more William F. Buckley drops. Let me tell you.
Stop calling me a crypto Nazi.
Big gay ice cream is the best.
Oh, yeah, baby. I really like that drop.
I can't believe you've done this.
All right, sorry. But yeah, that's Starbucks for you. But no, that's a really good point, Joe. Thank you. Thank you.
Damn, I didn't think about that.
And if that's the case, then that's part of like a broader, like, because I think Starbucks of like pre-pandemic days would have been like, we stand up to this bull, like the fucking we stand up to, or like we stand up for our LGBTQ partners if like any of this bullshit was happening. But like, it's a different time now, and it's worse. And fuck them.
Post-rainbow capitalism.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's
What
just
is that?
monochrome capitalism.
This is like the stripe is just like a different shade of like a darkening shade of gray, each single one.
We're at the Blue Lives Matter stage of capitalism.
Yeah, kind of. Unfortunately. Because Cop City is going to get built, unfortunately. Oh, they voted for that. It was like a day-long testimonial from like most of the community against it.
I saw some of the testimonials, and man, they were spitting fire, and I loved it.
Yeah, but then the city council or whoever was just like, yeah, approved.
The state of Georgia actually went after the bail fund that was supporting the anti-cop protesters.
What happened?
Georgia State Police staged an early morning raid at like 6 in the morning on 3 people who work for the bail fund that was providing like legal aid and other stuff for the Cop City protesters who've been arrested. And they charged the bail fund, the Solidarity Network, with charges of money laundering and charity fraud.
Jesus Christ.
They're trying to like rip out any dissent from like the root.
Yeah, when you said they went after it, I thought like you meant legally speaking, and then you're like, no, they went after them with police, and I was just fucking shit. Yeah, that's insane. Like, Jesus Christ, that's fascism, baby.
Videos like,
or police state at least.
They were like in military gear staging a raid at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Bright and early, baby.
Because people were organizing a fucking bail fund.
Mm-hmm. Well,
this is straight up fascism.
Yeah. Yeah, or at the very least a police state. Yeah.
I mean, think about how sick that is. People organizing a bail fund are taken into custody, and then they themselves need to get bailed out.
It's fucked,
doing bail fund work, and then getting charged with a crime of money laundering and charity fraud.
Well, that sucks.
Hold on, there must be like a secondary bail fund to get them out of fucking jail.
Please find it. Joe, what do you think of what do you think of Target? You think they're trying to get kids? Yeah. Yeah. Pizzagate? Comet Pizza? You think they're doing it? You think they're doing it? Do you think they're doing it?
Okay,
do you think it's true? Do you think Sandy Hook happened? Let's not even open that. I would have a fucking panic attack if you said no.
So, just for information, the Atlanta Solidarity Fund, the website's still up. They are asking for donations, but also they want people who are interested in offering pro bono help to activists. So if you have any kind of legal acumen, if you want to support us, that's cool. But if you want to support people who are currently
get people out of jail first.
In jail, that's probably takes priority.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Come on. Come together, people. Smile on each other. Bail each other out. Can't really do much with that. Anyways.
That was fun.
That was good. We're at a reasonable time. My name is Scott. Sweaty Wife on Instagram. Sweaty-wife. Twitch.
_
Whatever the fuck.
I like reading books. I just read a book on Sandy Hook that was very good that I recommend everybody reads. I'm on Goodreads. Joe, where are you? Anywhere of note?
I'm Joe. I'm not really notable, but I do, put myself through the agony of following the Red Sox on a day-to-day basis, which is
humble.
Being a baseball fan is not for the weak of heart. It's a long season.
Oh, poor Joe. Being a baseball fan.
How behind are they?
We are in last place, but granted, we are in the best division in baseball. We have a winning record, and yet we're still in last because all the other teams in the division are also like the 4 other best teams in baseball. So
yeah, I know.
Cope.
Yeah.
Cope
How
and
many
Seed.
behind? So we're 10 games behind. Or no, excuse me, 14 games behind. That's not insurmountable.
We're only 4 games out in the wild card.
Who's the wild card right now?
Well, there's 3 wild card spots. So if the playoffs were to happen today, the 3 wild card spots would go to Baltimore, New York, and Houston.
Who fucking cares, dog?
I do. I don't care about baseball like the sport. really, it's boring. But I do care about this shit. I think this is like there is so many like meta mini things inside of baseball that's like really interesting about it, and like this, like the standings and the stats and shit is actually shit that I'm like very interested in for some reason. I've always been, because it just kind of gives you a encapsulation of the whole season and just like a kind of simple set of numbers that you can read. So,
all right, I apologize.
It's fine. Sports are stupid. It's fine. I'm kidding, Joe. Baseball's great. And he's Jesse. Sorry. Jesus Christ.
I'm Jesse. And you can
Are you stuck to that bit? That's awesome.
Music at soundcloud.com/contingence Boston, CONTINGENCE Boston. And I do have a slam recommendation this evening. And your slam recommendation is...
There it is.
I'm afraid to try and adjust the volume here, so we'll have to enjoy it at a slightly lower volume.
It's not bad.
This album is entitled Intergalactic Harvest. Carlina's laughing. By the band Parasitic Infestation.
I feel like that's... What is that?
It's Carlina's.
That's like kind of tame, but it's good music.
They are from Auckland.
Is that New Zealand?
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess they're still unsigned, so presumably...
Wow.
Let me see. I think it's always impressive when bands like produce... Yeah. I think they produced this on their own. So I will put a Bandcamp link in the description, as always.
It's pretty good. For like self-produced. I don't know much about like metal, but it sounds good.
Yeah, it usually sounds like absolute ass. Like, there's some bands that they're really good, like talented musicians. They have like guitar in like a mono channel, and it's like you can't even fucking...
Yeah.
It's like you don't have the budget for like stereo. Like I could do that. I'm no editing whiz, but Parasitic Infestation from New Zealand.
Parasitic. What's that?
What?
What?
You stopped talking and then asked me what it was.
I thought I heard like some. I thought I heard you. I thought I heard something hit your mic. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ghosts, bro. Ghosts in the machine.
I heard a little bit of a clip, and I was like, "What was that?" And so, maybe it is a ghost. Spooky
maybe
ghost.
It was the track ending on your end.
Maybe. Oh God. Yeah.
Did you forget what we're doing, bro?
No.
We're recording a podcast.
I know
I
what
did
we're
my
doing.
slam recommendation.
It's fucking... I was for a
My
second,
name is Scott. I'm
gonna scare the hell out of you.
Anyways, fuck you, dude.
PM.
That's the Epoch.
You can find us on...
Oh, shit, I'm sorry. That's right. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're at Epic Incredulity. More importantly, we are on Patreon at Epic Incredulity, where you can get the second half of Joe's rambling. Just kidding. Joe's analysis on the war in Ukraine, or the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, whatever you want to call it. It's good. You should listen to it. We're gonna part 2 of the last episode is posting. It just posted earlier today. So listen to that. Talked about this bargaining that we did with Starbucks a couple weeks ago, which was a bullshit nightmare, but a radicalizing experience. Bullshit nightmare, but a radicalizing experience. Here we go.
It was a radicaling.
That was the first, like, oh no, misstep. That was the first, like, oh, you're going to fuck this up. Yeah. So listen to that. But anyways, love your faces.
Oh no, that's a Philly D thing. Don't want to say that.
We usually say butt tank.
We love your ass.
We love your asses. You're sweet. We love your sweet curves and
Men,
angles.
women, anybody in between.
Yeah, your sweet curves.
It
your
was
sweet
a
angles.
radicaling. That should be the episode title.
Motherfucker. You motherfucker. Ooh. was a radicaling experience. Radicaling. Oh my god. Anyways, Batankdo. Stop laughing, you asshole.
I am gay. I am disabled.
God damn it. Oh man.
Do not come.
You fucking.
I'm defenseless against that kind of female insanity.
You're just like poking me.
Big gay ice cream is the best.
Which was the style at the time?
Oh god. Alright. God damn it.
We got soda, OJ, purple stuff, and 2 kinds of Sunny D.